House Ways and Means Committee Chair Richie Neal, a Democrat, has defeated yet another attempt to end surprise medical billing, which seems to be incredibly important as people are getting sick from the pandemic. So turns out that Nancy Pelosi, of all people, wanted to bake in a provision regarding medical billing and essentially regulating it and ending it within the stimulus bill. So as The Intercept reports, Wendell Primus, the senior policy advisor to Speaker Nancy Pelosi and the most powerful staffer on the Hill, had plans to send a proposal on surprise medical billing to Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. By Monday night, however, that effort had been rebuffed. Oh, that's interesting. How? How did it get rebuffed? We should find out. Well, in terms of which committees would deal with this type of provision, as The Intercept reports, the issue fell under the jurisdiction of the Energy and Commerce Committee, whose chair, Representative Frank Pallone of New Jersey, hammered out a tough reform bill on the bipartisan issue with his Republican counterparts. But Neal decided to do some tricky maneuvering in order to ensure that his committee, the House Ways and Means Committee, could essentially have their own recommendations, their own legislation on what to do about surprise medical billing. And as you can imagine, since he's funded by private equity firms who absolutely love this type of predatory behavior, his approach was incredibly watered down and ineffective. So Neal, however, invented jurisdiction for the Ways and Means Committee. The panel has jurisdiction over taxation, and he linked the issue to government revenue in a roundabout way. And put forward his own proposal that was much more favorable to the private equity industry. And so some of you might be wondering, well, why do private equity firms want surprise medical billing? How does it benefit them? Well, they have essentially set things up in a way where they would profit off of surprise medical billing. Private equity firms have purchased providers and arrange service to maximize the number of the number of times an out-of-pocket doctor can treat a patient. Those bills are then exponentially higher, landing at the feet of both patients in the form of copays and deductibles, and insurance companies who pay the remainder. And for those of you who are wondering, okay, what exactly is surprise medical billing? It's when you do everything right. You got your health insurance that you're overpaying for. You got the health insurance that is not covering most of the things that you need it to cover. But you're gonna go to an in-network doctor. You're gonna get in-network care. And then what they do, without telling you, without informing you or asking you for your consent, they'll have one healthcare professional who's out of network be part of the treatment or part of the care. And then you end up paying the costs for that out-of-network care that you didn't even know about. Richie Neal, a Democratic representative, the chair of the House Ways and Means Committee, wants to protect that kind of predatory behavior.
So let's break this down a little further. First of all, Akilah Lacey with an excellent article on The Intercept. So great job reporting by her. And the mention of Wendell Primus in the beginning, the Pelosi staffer, is really important because he's deeply connected to the healthcare industry. He is not at all a good guy. He's one of the biggest opponents of Medicare for all. He makes Republicans look like choir boys compared to how hostile he is to Medicare for all. And even he is saying, I mean, we gotta end surprise billing, don't we? That's a booby trap built by the richest people in the country for average Americans that bankrupts them and steals their house from them, that steals everything they own. And does it in a way that there's nothing they could do about it. I mean, and in their most desperate time. I mean, we got to end that at least, don't we? Even corporate Democrats have to end that. Richie Neal says, no, I take more money from Blackstone, a private equity group, than anybody, that's his top donor. And he says, so since they're my top donor, surprise, I'm backing them and not my voters. And so if you go to the hospital, and you did everything right, and like Anna said, the part that enraged me the most is they do this on purpose. They try to get as many out-of-network doctors as possible to do the rounds in the hospital so they can go, oh, well, you didn't know it, but he was out of network when you were really, really sick, you should have asked if he was out of network, which, by the way, even if you did, he's already there. I don't even know that you could do anything about it. Sorry, he did the rounds. And so now you owe us an ungodly amount of money. I remember when I was going door to door campaigning, one woman said, she was like 68, and she said, well, look, the thing that I'm most concerned about is if I get sick, I'm sorry, she wasn't 68, she was under 65. And she said, I'm trying to get to Medicare. She said, because the one thing I'm worried about is if I get sick before I get to Medicare, I lose this house. There's no chance I could keep it, right? And then what am I gonna do? I'm gonna be homeless and sick. And so corporate Democrats like Richie Neal go, yeah, but you didn't contribute to my campaign and private equity groups did. So even though I got all the other corporate Democrats and some Republicans to agree and we could pass this bill, no, my donors say no. And then the national media and corporate Democratic zombies have the nerve to tell us, oh, you're doing a purity test. Richie Neal's a Democrat, so you should bow your head and accept that he's taking these legalized bribes and bankrupting people on behalf of his donors. You should accept that. You should celebrate it. No, I don't. Richie Neal's one of the most corrupt people in Congress, and I cannot wait to defeat him. We're gonna go back and finish the job. Alex Morris ran against him. He lost because Richie Neal helped orchestrate a homophobic smear attack against him last time around. And until The Intercept again stepped in and corrected the record, all of the mainstream media went along with the smear. Well, next time we're gonna come for Richie Neal and we're gonna finish the job. I don't accept these corporate cult Democrats in their alternative facts that, oh yeah, I'm progressive, but I hate the average American and I work on behalf of private equity. No deal at all. We will primary you, and I swear to God we'll defeat that guy.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.